One of the most memorable questions I've gotten in my life was actually from my niece when she was about 2 years old and had just learned how to start making sentences, and we were on the swings in a playground and swinging side by side. She turned and said to me, "What are your days like?" And it was a great question because how often at that point in my life I had not really reflected upon what the real answer to that question was like. And sitting next to a 2-year-old, having to actually reflect and tell her what my days were like, really brought me back to an earnest assessment of how I was living versus how I really wanted to go through life. But today, I wanted to share, as I walk down the street of downtown San Carlos, what this particular day is really like. So I woke up with a kitty cat stretched out across my shoulder and down the side of my body. And she really had me pinned down, didn't want to let me get up. And I spent a few extra minutes rubbing her belly and under her chin, just like she likes. And it was just so cute, funny, and adorable. That was the first thing I woke up to. And then took my shower and did my part of my morning ritual, which was a few yoga poses in front of the house. And then I headed out to my garden. Yes, I put in a vegetable garden this weekend. It was sort of my Mother's Day experience, mothering seedlings into life. And it's a great practice for me in terms of non-attachment to outcomes and just really trusting process, which is the recognition that the only thing I can do any given day is to turn on the hose, make sure I'm watering, checking the soil, make sure everybody's fertilized, and just appreciating the sun for shining, because I can't control anything else. I can't pull up the seedlings and check their roots to see if they're growing. I can't force them into growing faster, and I can't wish the vegetables into appearing right now. A little road rage. I guess San Carlos is not immune to that kind of behavior. Anyway, the practice for me is actually sort of putting into reality these principles that I've been talking about and finding an actual case in the real world where I can watch it unfold and learn to trust it. So that was amazing. There's such calm in just watching the water soak into the soil and appreciating life in its sort of most organic form. And
look at this car's backing out.
Then
Stop, Stevie!
a little bit of commotion here.
The lady's crazy. I just said that.
Then rage. And then I sat down to write to a client who's in my email coaching program, and I realized that coaching, sort of being with people as they attempt to become aware of their own stressful thoughts and find ways to relieve that stress, is one of the most enjoyable. I'm filming me, it's okay. It's one of the most enjoyable, effortless things that I can do, and I just really love it. So I kind of just really steep myself into that time. Then I went out to lunch. I walked to lunch, ate a beautiful lunch with my sweetheart, which we enjoyed. And then I walked down Laurel Street to get the key duplicated. I'm gonna run to the grocery store in a minute. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna have another coaching conversation, which I'll do from outside, looking over my garden in the sunshine, being with a person who's also at a transitional period in their life. And after that, I'll probably wash the dishes and just maybe do some writing and reading of my own. And then tonight I get to play music. So that's a day. That's how my days are. And I'll tell you that it's amazing to think back a year ago, a year and a half ago, even 6 months ago, 3 months ago, how there's been this very slow but steady and sure transformation into gradually incorporating, understanding and learning the things that I truly value in my life and finding ways to bring them into reality, one little tiny step at a time, always starting first internally and then watching the manifestation just unfold without effort. So the effort is in becoming aware of the thoughts that are holding us back, and that's really painful, difficult, and slow sometimes. But once the awareness happens, then you know what to practice, and then that practice is a process that you just trust. So that's what my days are like. And maybe someday my niece will understand what this video is talking about. But I think that even if I were to tell her the events of my day, she would appreciate and be curious and fascinated with just the beauty of life as it is. Have a great one.